Ekiri mu Palamenti y'eggwanga Uganda, Sipiika Amongi Agobye ali mu panic mode, ali mu kutya akankanye olw'ebyama ebyagiddwayo olunaku olwajjo mu lukuŋŋaana lwa National Platform. Ne bategeeza nti waliwo ensimbi obukadde 100 bw'obugenda okubabuweebwa buli mubaka wa Parliament nga babagulira ku ebyo General Museveni byateekateeka okuba ng'ayisaawo mu Parliament. Kati olw'okubanga amawulire gano gaasomoddwa ne gateekebwa mu press conference ya National Platform ne President Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi n'abitegeera, atandikidde mu lutalo mu Parliament. Alina atadde akazito ku Mathias Mpuuga, atadde akazito ku muganda waffe mukwano gwaffe Muwanga Kivumbi Nambeshe n'abalala ba National Platform abadde ne President Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi mu lukuŋŋaana olunaku lwajjo press conference, era ayagala kubagoba mu Parliament. Mbu nno basamwasamwa n'ebigambo, lwaki tebaze ne babyogera mu Parliament okusinga obigamba Kyagulanyi abaswaza, ayogera bingi okuyomba kungi. Nsaba okkirize nkutwale mu Parliament awo olabe Sipiika wammwe Nnaalongo ekimutuuseeko leero.
Honorable members, there was an allegation which didn't go well with some of us. And as the leader of this house, the allegations that are not substantiated are not good. It came to my attention that some individuals or group of members went maligning in this house that we either gave 100 million or we are about to give, whichever, as a bribe. I am asking, bribing you for what? What are you bribing you for? I want to request you people, before you come up with such an allegation, you must be able to substantiate. You cannot just go, because this is the forum where you should come and talk. You go to the public, you go to the media and start talking all of that. If you're covering your dirt on homosexuality, you're getting money on homosexuality, and you're covering your dirt, don't use this house to cover it. Don't use Parliament to cover your dirt. Eat your money of bum shafters, all those ones. You cannot come and say that we are bribing. Bribing you for what? For us, we are here to do work. We are people-centered Parliament. We are here working for our people. And I want to confirm from the chairman budget, in the money that you we supplied, was there a parliamentary commission? Did we have parliamentary commission on that budget? On that supplementary?
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. I also heard, I saw it on TV, those allegations made, and some people also been calling me about it. But Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, with me here, I have a schedule, a supplementary schedule, one for financial year 2023-24, which was laid to this house by Minister of Finance, a copy is.
Does it have parliamentary commission?
Madam Speaker and honorable members, we don't have parliamentary commission in this schedule.
Maybe just for information, all the money that comes to members of Parliament comes through parliamentary commission.
Vote 104. That's parliamentary commission. We don't have it here. I have ministers talking notes. Minister of Finance is here, he can confirm. We have a report which we discuss and approved with the schedule. We don't have that item. So as I talk now, I think a person who said it should come clear and tell us exactly where the money was. Because the reality is people are calling, some of my people are calling me, say, when are you coming? Please, fasten something for us for Christmas.
Honorable members,
So we don't have that item here. Maybe a person who has said it can come out clearly to indicate where the money is. But there's no money for Parliamentary Commission.
honorable members, our work is for the national service. And we are paid for what we do. We are not bribed in any way. And we are not, as a House of Parliament, going to be diverted from the homosexuality that you're talking about into bribes. They are trying to cover their homosexuality, saying that Parliament is being bribed. We are not bribed. Eat your money of homosexuality, sell your country, and keep quiet on your own. Yes, yes, Eddie.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, thank you for your opening remarks. First, I want to thank you that you have reminded the Minister of Works about speed, but you forgot to remind him about the potholes because they also cause accident. And the Chisoro airstrip has potholes and flying stones, and the minister cannot even fly there. On the issue of the 100 million, honorable members, we have a spokesperson of the House, who is the Speaker. Then the institution of Parliament has a spokesperson. Should we listen to the Olugambo by everybody? Will every member of Parliament talking outside his Olugambo be allowed? And if it comes to the public, isn't it appropriate that he is put to order in the House to explain the source? Because whatever we discussed, there was no question of 100 members or 100 million for each member of Parliament. So it would be better if it pleases you, Right Honorable Speaker, that the information which is attributed to one of the members of Parliament be invited to the House and substantiates on the information. I thank you.
Honorable members, you know, if we are allowed to be diverted by the gay movement, who are receiving their foreign support to erode our culture, our values, and we will continue debating on the gays every day over that 100 million. For us, let's work. We put evidence on the table that we did not get the money, and it is a shame upon the person who is moving around. And I know maybe it is because of change of leadership. Now people are trying to buy to be leaders. The panic mode is too much. Nathan.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. It's very unfortunate at my age. It's not usual to talk about any political leader because most of them are young. It's very unfortunate to find that a member of Parliament does not know the decorum of Parliament. That's why we have dress code. That's how we must talk in a particular manner. For a member of Parliament to go outside this house and talk something that is not existing at all. One time in 1998, a member of Parliament, a minister, made an allegation to one of the members. He was suspended, and there was a bar. We put a bar there. You go apologize. That's what is coming to. Because for somebody to talk of the money issue really, that's not, you're not supposed to be a member of Parliament, not even a political head. Because I would imagine that we are really, he must be above the bar, like that gentleman I really respect, Honorable Mpuuga. I will continue holding you high.
Thank you.
But others, I feel that we should definitely humble ourselves. Let's talk with evidence. But you can't talk about even a colleague. We have a case in Parliament here where somebody talked about a colleague outside here. It's a case. we are supposed to treat other people the way you want to be treated, so that you can be honorable members. Two, Madam Speaker, the issue, the minister was here, Minister of Works is here. We went to Katonga with the Deputy Speaker. We were told that the road would be opened before the end of November. Currently, the people are suffering. We will go up to Zimbabwe. I don't know when Honorable Minister General Katumba will open that road. I saw it completed. So, three, the bus fares increase because when you take people to Mbaro or Mbarara, you come empty. So we must also put something there to compensate. I can tell you, when I take a buses, take people to the up country, they come empty.
You know, some people here are conflicted. When you get Nathan, get Felix, they are all conflicted. But let's not make a fortune out of our people. These people don't have money. And they are going home because they really have to go. Not because they have the money to waste. So we should be considerate enough not to overcharge. Can I hear from the minister?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to respond to Honorable Nathan. Katonga will be opened on Friday at 8 a.m. I hope you'll be there. I hope you'll be there to witness the occasion. Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of the fares for buses and taxis, I'm going to have an engagement with the leadership. They have an association where we normally do engage when these festive seasons are coming to address the issues of fares, overloading, and also speed. So we are going to engage before the close of the...
Thank you. Honorable members, we will wait for your communication. I'm happy the other time you sent a communique saying that the road should not be worked on because it would be a waste of money. So we want to see your communication in regard to the transport fare, the speeding buses, and the action that you take on those who go against your communication. I want to therefore to urge the public to ignore the rumors of the honorable members and treat it with the contempt it deserves. When some of these people don't have what to say, they go and say nothing and do nothing. Next item. Next item.
Item 3.
Honorable members, let's finish. I want to invite you to members' lunch this evening. I want a surprise today for you. As we go for Christmas. Yes.
Item.
Right Honorable Speaker, in the same vein, I have pain. There are also allegations in the media that some of the MPs in the opposition ate cooperatives' money. Through your office, Right Honorable Speaker, we have had a lot of calls from the public that you are in the opposition. Did you eat cooperatives' money? Through your office, Right Honorable Speaker, we want to know the names of people in the opposition, especially who ate cooperatives' money. I submit.
Honorable members, the report on cooperatives. Honorable members, listen. The report on cooperatives was uploaded. I told you to internalize, read it and understand. If you see your name there, take yourself to police. The report was forwarded to CID, IGG, and DPP. It is not just a matter of saying opposition, some opposition members were there. So should we talk about rice now? Next item.
Item 3. laying of papers, the National Budget Framework Paper for the financial years 2024-25 to 2028-29.
Honorable members, Section 9(5) of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 and Rule 1441 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament requires the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to table the National Budget Framework Paper by 31st of December of the year preceding to the financial year in which the National Budget Framework Paper relates to. However, because we are going for a Christmas festival, we've asked Minister of Finance to table the Budget Framework Paper early now for us to be able to take off time and study the Budget Framework Paper. It goes to the committees for us to be able to internalize it and scrutinize. I now invite the Minister to lay the National Budget Framework Paper.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in compliance with the Article 1551 of the Constitution and Section 9, 3, and 5 of the Public Finance Management Act and Section 30 of the National Climate Change Act of 2021 and Rule 1441 and 2 of our Rules of Procedure, I beg to lay on the table the National Budget Framework Paper for financial year 2024-2025, financial year 2028-2029. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Madam Speaker, pursuant to Rule 144 of our Rules of Procedure, I beg to lay on table the Certificate of Gender and Equity Compliance of the National Budget Framework Paper 2024-2025 to 2028-2029. I beg to lay.
Please do. I see Christine is very excited.
Yeah, she was waiting for me, but this time I am well prepared for her. Madam Speaker, in that regard, pursuant to Section 30 of the National Climate Change Act 2021, I beg to lay on the table the Certificate of Climate Change Responsiveness to the National Budget Framework Paper for financial year 2024-2025.
Thank you. Please lay.
Madam Speaker, with
there's a procedural matter.
Madam Speaker, Rule 32 requires the documents to be uploaded, but we don't have copies on the iPad.
Pardon?
Rule 32 requires that we have these documents, copies of the documents he's laying, but they are not uploaded yet.
The document is very big. It's being uploaded and it will take some time. You will have time with all of them because you're going to scrutinize all of them, committee by committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish in brief to inform the House and the country what I have read is all about. Madam Speaker, the Budget Framework Paper for financial year 2024-25 covers the following. 1, state of the economy. On the state of the economy, we wish to inform the House
that Uganda's economy grew to 184.89 trillion, approximately $49.5 billion, up from 162.75 trillion, which is equivalent to 45.6 billion registered in financial year 21-22. In real terms, the economy grew by 5.2% in financial year 2022-23, compared to 4.6% registered in financial year 2021-22. The economy is projected to grow by 6% by end of financial year 2023-24, 6.5% in financial year 24-25, and at least 7% over the medium term. Over the past 12 months, the annual headline inflation slowed down from a peak of 10.7% in October 2022 to 2.6% in November 2023. Inflation is expected to remain within the policy target of 5% over the medium term, supported by close coordination between monetary, management, and fiscal policy. Madam Speaker, the theme of the budget for financial year 2024-25 remains same as financial year 2022-23, which is full monetization of the Uganda's economy through commercial agriculture, industrialization, expanding and broadening services, digital transformation, and market access. Madam Speaker, on the imports, on the merchandise side, the merchandise exports increased significantly, growing by 54.9% from $4.194 billion in October 2022 to $6.498 billion in October 2023, largely driven by gold, coffee, and maize exports. On the import side, the imports grew by 26.2%, much slower than the growth in the exports, resulting in the narrowing of the trade deficit by 11.2% in the same period. Imports increased to $9.356 billion in the 12 months to October 2023, compared to $7.413 billion a year ago. The increase in imports is largely in the oil and gas sector, mineral exploration, and vehicles and accessories. Our priority areas for the next financial year's budget for 24-25 are the following: investing in the people of Uganda, peace and security, roads, electricity generation and transmission lines, prioritizing money-earning investments, and effective management of our natural disasters. And we have done this with guidance of the President of the Republic of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, we are looking forward to growing our economy tenfold in 15 years. This means that we are working towards moving our economy from $49.5 billion to $500 billion in 15 years. And we shall do so by focusing on the following strategic areas: 1, tourism development; 2, agro-industrial development; 3, mineral-based industrial development; 4, oil and gas development, including petrochemical industries; and 5, knowledge economy. Madam Speaker, on the resource envelope, the total funding for financial year 2024-2025 is projected to be 52,722,682,928,748 shillings. The details are in the document which I have laid, in the big document. The financing strategy for the budget, Right Honorable Speaker, will be as follows. One, we are looking forward to deepening the fiscal consolidation agenda through improved revenue collection, continued repurposing of the budget to improve efficiency and effectiveness of the public expenditure, controlled borrowing to reduce debt servicing costs while supporting faster socioeconomic transformation, and implementation of our public investment financing strategy by exploring alternative and more sustainable sources of financing, including PPPs, private equity funds, capital markets, climate financing, including carbon credit markets, among others. And lastly, improving efficiency in execution of projects and public investments. With this, Madam Speaker, our prayer is that we request Parliament to consider the budget framework paper for financial year 2024-2025 to 2028-2029. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and let me also thank the Minister for taking us through the budget framework paper. Madam Speaker, the Minister is aware that this preparation of this budget framework paper is supposed to be consistent with the development plan, the National Development Plan, and the Charter for Fiscal Responsibility. And besides laying, by the way, is required by law to lay 2 certificates here. He has laid one. This budget framework paper is not only supposed to be gender and equity responsive, but also it is supposed to have a certificate cleared by the Equal Opportunities Commission. Madam Speaker, I'm seeking clarification from the Minister whether he is aware of the 10 programs that could not even pass the test of the Equal Opportunities Commission. And I know the Minister is well polished about the law. Section 9, subsection 2 of the Public Finance Management Act gives him a stringent requirement, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Minister laid 2 documents, 2 certificates, and the one of gender is issued by Equal Opportunities. That is the one you want. And then he has also laid the one of climate change. So he has laid the 2 documents. Honorable members, pursuant to Section 9(7) of the Public Finance Management Act. Yes. I wish I could first refer.
Because I could easily invite the House to reconsider.
To reconsider.
Referral. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for timely bringing this BFP. I am a bit constrained because in his elaborate referral to the same, that's why the honorable member was a bit dissatisfied that we don't have the document, because we could have helped the Minister to make elaborate commentary on his submission. For instance, the Minister has ably...
Can I kindly lend you my certificates and you have a look at them?
Thank you,
such that when you're speaking, you have them.
I will make a reference. Thank you for your kindness. Honorable Speaker, a quick one. The minister has complied with the certificate, the environmental compliance certificate, as per Section 30 of the Climate Change Act. This is an act passed by Parliament 2021, but there are no regulations on the same. I do not know, Honorable Speaker, whether we are moving well to extract a commercial certificate in a law that has no regulations since it was passed. I don't know where the Minister of Environment gets the audacity to lay a certificate from a law that is devoid of regulation, Honorable Speaker. Two, the Minister is being a bit elaborate on what they intend to change. What is not spoken about, including matters obtained from the Charter of Fiscal Responsibility. The Minister is not clear whether they intend to make some changes on the Charter of Fiscal Responsibility, because if that's the case, should have laid the same here before the BFP as per the law and procedure, Honorable Speaker. Will the Minister clarify whether he's going to put the cart before the horse, or we bear with him to make these undertakings?
One good thing is the minister is going to appear before all the committees, and make elaborate commitment in all the committees, sectoral committees. But let's hear from him.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for your wise guidance. Indeed, when we appear before various committees, which will consider the budget framework paper, we shall provide all the information pertaining to this process of scrutiny, and we shall also welcome issues which will come from members. However, Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that the Charter of Fiscal Responsibility is a 5-year period, and we just approved the one we are using in 2021, which will take us through these 5 years which we are looking at, and afterwards we shall process another one.
Thank you. Yes, Lop.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Minister is right that the charter was laid at the commencement of this term of Parliament. But I'm also alive to the fact that he is communicating change in the Government Act, revenue mobilization, and the like. It's not a crime in Legislation 4 of the PFMA Act. You are allowed to alternate. But I'm saying, if you're going to do it, will you inform Parliament that we are at par? It's not a crime for you to make changes in the charter. If you're going to make the same, you lay the changes before the House. I'm not saying you're committing a crime, but I heard you so well.
You can still bring the changes. Of course, obviously, there will always be changes. So just make a commitment.
I want him to make an admission there. He's communicating a change so that we're not taken by surprise. Some of us are very alert to what you're saying.
You know, you need to, we are bound to have changes. There is something I've already noticed. I've already noticed. I checked an account and I said, why do we have this figure? So yes, the law allows you.
Madam Speaker, I have worked with the rope, Honorable Matthias Mpuuga, for all my life in this Parliament. And we normally see some things the same way, especially in regard to these matters. Madam Speaker, yes, on the matters of budgeting and finance, he normally sees what I see. Madam Speaker, we have just laid the framework. We are going to work with this framework up to end of January.
Where any changes?
Parliament will make recommendations. These recommendations some of them will be changes. And when I come back to lay the budget, the estimates, and also the ministerial policy statements, some information will be provided.
There will be a call circular too.
Oh no, yes, there will be a call circular too, budget call circular too, on the revenue. Yes, it is true. We are aggressively looking for ways of how to finance our budget using our own resources. And we are currently implementing our revenue mobilization strategy, domestic revenue mobilization strategy, and a number of things we are doing there. And as and when it requires, like when we go to the committees, we will be proposing a number of things for your approval, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. And I know Honorable Mpuuga's concerns. We shall get there. And when we get there, we are flexible enough to really move together in this. This is not a matter of losing and winning. It's a matter of both winning in order to help us raise money, spend money efficiently and effectively for the good of our people of Uganda. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. And one, I must really appreciate you for bringing the BFP early enough. The burden is now left on the chairpersons of both the Budget Committee and the Sectoral Committees. And pursuant to Section 9, pursuant to Section 9(7) of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 and Rule 145(1) of the Rules of Procedure, the National Budget Framework Paper is accordingly referred to the Budget Committee for consideration and to the various sectoral committees. The sectoral committees will restrict themselves to the part of the Budget Framework Paper that falls within their jurisdictions. In addition, I wish to guide as follows. The consideration of the National Budget Framework Paper usually coincides with the festival seasons. As such, the chairpersons of various committees should adequately mobilize the members and make sure that this work is done as early as possible. The consideration of the National Budget Framework Paper is time-bound, and that is as per Rule 145(2) of the Rules of Procedure. And this procedure grants the sectoral committees up to 20th July to report back to the committees, but that should be done before. The Budget Committee has up to 1st February to table a report for consideration of the House. The timelines therefore requires early commencement of consideration of this Budget Framework Paper in the relevant committees. I now instruct the clerk to Parliament. I know the tendency of my staff not to allow any staff that works within the committees of the budget, sectoral committees, not to give them leave. They will get leave after the budget has been processed. Proceed on the same.
Yeah, thank you. Right.
In addition, I expect the committees to ensure adequate public participation in consideration of the National Budget Framework Paper. Members, you need to participate in this because this is when you get to know what goes to your district, to your constituency, what goes outside there to the Ugandans. And when we are doing this, we are looking at policies. We are looking at the policies that are being handled. You passed the laws in this house. And now here is where you're going to relate the laws that you passed vis-a-vis what is being brought to you. I want to thank you, Finance, on that. Yes, Sironko.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm standing on a procedural point or guidance, more so that the budget framework paper has been laid and the committees must actively participate. That by the deadline of the January you are setting, committees could have effectively handled the business. But more so that the committees, the standing committees have expired. Could it be procedure okay? That at least before you go for the Christmas period, the members could be designated on those standing committees that they can effectively.
Honorable, I thought you're in this place earlier than me. You've been in Parliament earlier than me. This is for sectoral committees. Sectoral committees. I did not mention standing committees anywhere. Next item, yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Actually, my issue has a lot to do with the way our committees are structured. As much as I've not looked at the document, but I believe that government has presented the document in a program-based budget process they took over. And for us, we are still, our committees are still structured on sectors. The last year when we were processing the budget framework paper and actually the budget, there was some bit of disconnect because for them, they are reporting or they are presenting as per the program. And for us, we're actually handling per sector. Somehow you realize that one sector once has money or wants money for a very critical item, yet another sector actually is demanding money that may not be that critical. So in the process, there was some disconnect. Madam Speaker, I'm seeking your guidance. If it's not procedurally right, to guide on how best we can handle the budget framework paper now that it's with us. As per the program,
we have programs. Just the way you look at it is in programs, but it is cross-cutting. When you look at legal, it looks at justice, it looks at IGG, it looks at parliament, it cuts across. So that can be harmonized.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, it is true the preparation for the budget framework paper has been anchored on the 20 programs which we now base our planning on. However, Madam Speaker, we are aware that Parliament still operates in the old style when we were still looking at sectors, and I wish to allay the fears of Honorable Enos that even in these programs, there are votes. There are various votes which we use for the supply and allocation of resources. So when you get to a program, you will get to know which entity belongs to which vote and which entity belongs to which committee. And as a result of that, the committees will be able to pick out what belongs to them. And when we come to consolidation at the budget committee level, we shall now merge, consolidate, and report back to the House as programs. I thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, motion for resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to United States dollars 295 million from the Islamic Development Bank and United States dollars 30 million from the OPEC Fund for International Development for the upgrading of National Roads project in Uganda.
Honorable members, as we are aware, reliable transport connectivity is a vital precondition for economic growth and development. You've just been talking about potholes here. And now we are saying, let's get a loan and work on this road network for us to be able to connect throughout the whole country for us to improve on our transport infrastructure to reduce the freight costs, and pursuant to Rule 159 of the Constitution, Article 159 of the Constitution, and Section 36 and Section 39 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015, and Rule 1551 of the Rules of Procedure. I now invite the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to move a motion for a resolution of this House to authorize government to borrow for this purpose. Honorable Minister, I can hear some people with some kabiritis. If you have a kabiriti, take it out.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In compliance with the laws you have just stated, Article 159 of the Constitution, Section 36 and 39 of the Public Finance Management Act, and Rule 155 of our Rules of Procedure, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to $295 million from the Islamic Development Bank of China and $30 million from the OPEC Fund for International Development for the upgrading of national roads project in Uganda. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Is the motion seconded? Seconded by Honorable Baka, Honorable Kasolo, Honorable General Muhosi, by elders, by Honorable Nandutu, by Minister of Works General, by Honorable Magezi, Honorable Daudi, by the whole House who love roads, including Honorable Abed. There is no Islamic Bank of China. A correction. He's making a correction.
Speaker, let the Finance Minister sit
Madam
down.
Speaker,
Honorable Minister, he's just making a small correction.
I would like to correct my motion. It's my motion. I'm the one who corrected. Madam Speaker, we are borrowing from the Islamic Development Bank. The issue of China was...
Is that Seattle, UK?
We have one Islamic Development Bank. The issue was a typing error.
A typing error. No, that's okay. The error has been corrected. Would you want to tell us the terms of borrowing? Let's first get the terms. I know you want to know the roads. You'll get that from the report.
Madam Speaker, I beg your indulgence that I tell you why we are borrowing and the terms.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I would wish to justify the loan as follows. The implementation of the project will contribute directly to the NDP3 key result areas of increasing the stock of transport infrastructure, reducing freight transportation costs, and reducing travel time. The upgrading of the national roads project is part of Uganda's national road network and will involve, number one, upgrading of Katine Ochiro Road, 70 kilometers, two, construction of Masindi Port Bridge, and three, upgrading of Chenjo Jochhura, Gizi, Gwamanja Kahunje, 68 kilometers, and Mparabrizi, 37 kilometers. Madam Speaker, you can notice that Honorable Frank is very happy about this project. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Katine Ochiro Road is currently gravel and does not provide a reliable and efficient all-weather link, which reduces the number of people who travel to the project influence areas. The traffic levels on the road cause fast deterioration of the unpaved surface, resulting in increased cost of maintaining the road in a motorable state. At the Masindi Port Bridge, the existing ferry that facilitates crossing the Victoria Nile to connect to Gwenkunye Masindi Port section, Apache section, is old with insufficient capacity to carry the ever-increasing traffic. The Chenjo Jochura Bwizi, Wamanja Kahunje, and Mpara Bwizi Road is characterized by surface corrugations, inadequate drainage, and poor alignment, and a total carriageway width that varies between 5 to 6 meters. Madam Speaker, the third National Development Plan identifies access to and efficient transport infrastructure as critical to Uganda's competitiveness and the country's ability to harness its regional and globalization potential. Transport infrastructure is noted as a key component contributing to the NDP3 goal of increased household incomes and the quality of life by linking growth opportunities in the key development sectors of agriculture, tourism, and minerals, which facilitate national and international integration and supports job creation and poverty alleviation. The proposed improved road infrastructure is expected to trigger rapid socio-economic development and transformation of communities living within the project impact zone. The selected roads are prioritized for implementation during the third National Development Plan under the Integrated Infrastructure and Services Program. The proposed date is consistent with the existing national vision, public debt management framework, and the third development plan. The terms and conditions of borrowing are as follows. The loan amount, $295 million. The loan period is 20 years, including grace period of 5 years. The effective interest rate is 4.75%. Madam Speaker, we have another component of $30 million, and its terms are as follows. Loan period is 20 years, including grace period of 5 years, and the interest rate is at 2%. Madam Speaker, with this justification, we presented the loan to the committee. The committee looked at it, and with your guidance, the committee can take us into the details of what they saw in our proposal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Honorable members, that was just to inform the debate. Now I'll invite the chair. But before I invite the chair, I want to interest the minister to the Kampala-Jinja Express Highway. The Kampala-Jinja Express Highway, that is a very, very critical road. It takes you to the borders, all the other borders. It takes you to Kenya, to South Sudan, to everywhere. And the loan was approved in June 2020. To date, 4 years down the road, nothing has taken place. The disbursement is at 0.1%. How sure are we that this one that we are approving today is going to be utilized?
Right Honorable Speaker, I request that I come on the floor as soon as Parliament resumes, and I bring an update report on where we are on the Kampala-Jinja Expressway. The demands and the requirements on that project are far much deeper and more complex than the Katino-Ochero, which is like a straightforward project. But I'll bring the details. I request that I be allowed to bring more details as soon as Parliament resumes.
Honorable Minister, that's a priority road. If you're to talk about priorities in terms of roads, that's a priority road.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
We need a report on that road, and we'll even stop approving monies for roads before you start working on that road. Yes, Chair. Can you just give us a brief of your report? Because we still have the same kind of report on the next loan.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, but first, please allow me thank my committee because they had to work around the clock, and through you, if they can stand up for recognition. Through you, Right Honorable Speaker. So, Right Honorable Speaker, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
You have only 4 members.
Right Honorable Speaker, because Parliament also has over 500 members, but you can see those are, but they signed, and that's why the report finds its way to meet your expectations.
Anyway, committee, thank you so much for working very hard. But even when you do approvals of these loans, make a follow-up of the previous approvals. Don't just approve anyhow.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker, and we have pending reports for performance of loans. When the time allows, we shall also present them. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me lay on table minutes the meetings of the Committee on National Economy with the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development on the proposal by government to borrow up to $295 million from the Islamic Development Bank and $30 million from the OPEC Fund for International Development for the upgrading of national roads project in Uganda, held on 29th November 2023. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker, also, I know it's uploaded, but for purposes of procedure, allow me lay on table the report of the committee.
Let's do.
Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister highlighted the components, project components, and also laid the justification for the loans. Let me mention this on page 12, the project financing. So I would direct you to page 12. The total project cost is estimated at $347 million. The Islamic Bank will finance $295 million through a combination of $13 million and $282 million installment sales in step 1 and 2 respectively. The PEC fund is expected to offer $30 million through a parallel financing, and this will be dedicated to Katino-Ochero section. The government of Uganda is expected to provide $22 million in land acquisition. Therefore, that's counterpart funding. Right Honorable Speaker, I request to guide the committee, the members to page 17, where we have item 3, which is economic returns on the project. The project present positive net present value, averaging US dollars 41.65 million, with economic rates of return for upgrading of Katino Ochero Road, construction of Masindi Port Bridge, and upgrading of Chihula, Bwizi, Ramwanja, Chihunge at 17.4% and 15.7%, in addition 20.8% respectively. Since the internal rate of return is higher than Uganda's economic opportunity cost of capital at 11%, it's an indication that a project is economically viable and impactful to the whole country with both indirect and direct benefits. Allow me to guide you to page 19. According to the Ministry of Works and Transport, the funding requirements for the proposed interventions in the country, as far as status of roads is concerned, amounts to 580 billion shillings. That's the bad roads. These requirements are categorized in the following entities as follows: National Road Network, 64 billion; DUCA, 429.8 billion. Ministry of Works, in terms of emergency response items for culverts, gabions, by bridges, at 50.7 billion, and KCC Road Network at 35 billion. That's an observation. The committee recommends that Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development should, as a matter of urgency, find money to cater for emergency repairs of the roads in the country.
Ndoze ensonga muziwulire ziri mu Parliament. Kwewola repeatedly, buli kadde kwewola, simanyi wajje tugenda. Islamic Banking of China, efuusa Islamic Banking of China, simanyi China we yafuuna Islamic Banking. Islamic Bank of China. Kale byonna tunaba tubitegera n'eggwanga lyaffe gye tulaga eyo bwe tuteetaasataasa tufudde tuweddewo. Bayogedde jjo ababaka ba Parliament aba National Platform nti waliwo looni eyayisiddwa era ensimbi ne zeewolebwa nga zigenda kugulirira ababaka ba Parliament. Sipiika ky'atandikiddeko ng'ayomba mbumubyogerako ng'ani yaani yabagambye mwagala kubikka mboozi zammwe za bisiike. Kale bingi byogerwa naye ffe tujja kuba tubiraba, tujja kuba tubitegeera era ensi ejja kutegeera ne bw'onooyomba Sipiika Anita Amongi. Byebyo nno ebyaleero. Nsaba mbasibule banywanyi bange bali kubaako n'okutwagala n'otugobereranga naffe tweyama tutaba tubyeta kubibawa mutambule n'okumanya. Dunda nsaba bankuumire batayi mweraba.